They say in Wan Chai, a cinema once stood on cursed ground, a place built over a funeral home, where the dead refused to leave. Patrons whispered of faceless women in mirrors, ghostly heads combing their hair, and stairwells where a pale stranger asked for fire. Some swore the theater was always full, even when no tickets were sold. Tonight, we step into East Town Theater, Hong Kong's most haunted cinema. Stay with me if you dare. Inside the cinema, a young woman left midway through the film to use the restroom. After relieving herself, she was washing her hands when she saw, in the mirror, a long-haired female ghost standing behind her. The face was smooth as wax, like a mask with all features erased. She spun around. Was there anyone in the restroom? She looked back at the mirror, and that face had drawn even closer, almost bursting out from the glass. Terrified, she stumbled out the door, collapsed on the lobby staircase, and soon fainted. After being sent to hospital, she died shortly after from acute organ failure. This legend of dying from fright was the very beginning of East Town Theater's notoriety in Wan Chai. Today, at 41 Lockhart Road, at the corner of Fenwick Street, stands East Town Building, an ordinary commercial tower. 70 years ago, in the 1950s, this site was the old Universal Funeral Parlor. In the early 1960s, the parlor moved, and soon after the place was rebuilt into East Town Theater. The theater opened on February 9, 1964. Its debut film was the Italian Copacabana Palace, translated in Chinese as Great Ambition. According to reports of the time, its facilities were considered luxurious, with around 1,300 seats, capable of screening 70mm stereo films. At the entrance, a sign was hung, "Improper attire will not be admitted." By the 1970s, competition was fierce. Wan Chai already had many theaters, and rumors of hauntings were growing stronger. Finally, in February 1974, after screening Paper Moon, it bid farewell to the silver screen. The site was torn down and rebuilt as East Town Building. From then on, East Town Theater slowly faded from memory, but its stories continued to spread. Among its legends, the most famous is the Full House. One stormy night, the box office sold only a few dozen tickets. Midway through the film, an usher glanced into the dim, smoke-filled auditorium. By the green glow of the exit signs, he saw rows upon rows of shadowy figures. The hall appeared completely full, but when the lights came on at the end, only a handful of patrons remained. He was so terrified he fell ill for days, and later resigned, never daring to return. Other versions circulated. Some said latecomers turning back mid-film saw countless shadows in the back rows, yet none at all when the movie ended. Others claimed staff constantly miscounted the audience numbers. Some insisted these were mere tricks of the dim light, or exhaustion leading to human error. Yet the phrase "full house" from then on was imagined as a sinister sign, and became one of Hong Kong's most notorious urban legends. The second tale was even more terrifying. One day, a woman went into the restroom to fix her makeup. She saw another woman emerge from a stall, bend over the counter, and lift a human head from the floor, placing it on the sink. With a comb, she carefully straightened the hair. When the witness looked up, she saw that above the woman's neck there was nothing at all. Screaming, she watched as the headless figure calmly picked up the head, set it back onto her neck as casually as fastening a button, and walked out. From then on, the story of East Town's haunted restroom was passed on for decades. Another story often retold is the borrowed light. A man was smoking on the stairwell when someone tapped his shoulder from behind. He turned to see a plain-dressed man politely say, "Mate, could I borrow a light?" He handed over his lighter. When the flame flickered, it revealed a gray, pale face with hollow, sunken eyes. After a brief thanks, the man retreated into the shadows. Searching the stairwell, the smoker found nothing, only a chill wind. Later, more stories circulated of people smoking in the stairwell and being tapped on the shoulder by the borrowed light ghost. Many said that when they turned, no one was there. Apart from these three major tales, East Town had many smaller rumors. Some said that in the men's restroom mirror, a bloodshot eyeball and half a face would drift past, leading management to permanently close several stalls. Others said that cleaners, after a show, saw a pale-faced old man lying beneath the seats, but when they turned to call for help, he had vanished. Ticket collectors claimed that when they took a ticket, it turned into a handful of ancient coins, and when they looked up to question the patron, no one was there at all. These stories soon made East Town Theater the undisputed, most haunted cinema in Hong Kong. Of course, some said the tales were invented by rivals to destroy its reputation. Yet the fact remains, the site was once a funeral parlor. In Chinese tradition, funeral homes are thresholds between the living and the dead, places where yin energy gathers and restless spirits linger. Thus, when the site became a cinema, it was said that wandering souls still roamed within. From a feng shui perspective, such places of accumulated yin were never suitable for other businesses. Perhaps some claimed East Town was doomed from the start. At the same time, rising land prices and urban development in the mid-1970s forced owners to weigh entertainment against property value. With so many theaters in Wan Chai, competition was fierce. East Town's closure in 1974 was likely the result of many factors intertwined. To blame only the hauntings is too romantic. Yet it is precisely this tug-of-war between rumor and reality that makes urban legends so compelling. As for East Town building today, its basement once housed nightclubs. In the darkness, who can say how many are people and how many are ghosts? By day, office workers come and go. By night, neon lights glow and revelry fills the air. Perhaps the true fascination of East Town is not whether it was truly haunted, but that it mirrors the city itself, from funerary culture to entertainment industry to office economy. Half a century compressed into one address. The reflection in the mirror has always been ourselves. The ghosts we think we see may only be the emotions we cannot place in times of change. Full house and empty hall, splendor and desolation, noise and silence. When the film ends and the theater lights rise again, only a handful of seats are filled. Yet the city's stories have already taken their places, quietly filling the night. Mate, could I borrow a light?